Hi there again. The excitement continues. Here's one of the hardest words to pronounce. It's because that TH there is a th sound, and then you get a kind of a Z sound with the ES, a Z and a th. This makes it, quite a tongue twister. So you can maybe, it's pronounced close, but that's very hard to do because of the shape of your tongue, close. So you might have to take a shortcut here and no one will notice. You could say something like close, or just the word close, like close the door. If you say, I was wearing some clothes, as in close the door, wearing some clothes, no one would notice. And if you put a Z in there like close that door, I was wearing some clothes, or I've got some new clothes on, or I could do with new clothes from my wardrobe. You'll probably get away with it, no one will notice. If you try to actually pronounce the th and the Z, you might trip yourself up and stutter and stammer. When I moved from East Kilbride from Glasgow to East Kilbride, I was 15 years old, and when I went into the economics class, we were talking about fashion and shopping and stuff, and we were asking for examples of, the teacher was asking for examples of things that people buy in shops, which were seasonal, according to the season. And I was saying to her, clays. And she said, I don't know what you mean. And this is the difference between 8 miles from Glasgow to East Kilbride. And they didn't understand what I was saying. As is, people buy clays at different clays at different times of the year. And she just did not know what I meant. Because in Glasgow, lower working class, I pronounce it clays. I'm wearing, where'd you get your clays from? So you might have to take a shortcut on this one, saying like close and close the door, or close, but trying to pronounce the TH and the Z sound, I have to say it's almost impossible for me. If that wasn't bad enough, this is one of the most difficult words in the world to pronounce. It is the world, it's the place we live on, the whole globe, or it could be flat, who knows. But this word world is the most difficult word to pronounce. This is because we get a R and an L running consecutively. And this is a baffler. So you maybe have to take a shortcut here and just say something that looks like wold or wold. And no one will notice. We're going to try and save the world. But if you try and say the world, you're starting to sound American. It's time to save the world. The world. They're rolling their R's. Rhetoric, R's. The world. But we tend to just not have that, not really an R sound, just world. There's a tip. Nuances and things which are not so obvious and more sophisticated. Silent B, subtle. Don't pronounce the B at all. T. Subtle. Try to spell subtly. It's a bit of a baffle to me. How do you spell subtly? Is there an E in it? But, so English, subtle. Scottish, subtle. American, subtle. If you're American, with a flat T. Something I use, I buy a new comb every 15 years. It usually costs maybe 8 pence. Silent B. Pronounce it a bit like foam, in foam rubber or something like that. Comb. 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 Come on, Tullybo. Come on, Tullybo. Comb. Pronounce it as if it's like foam. No, it's not a comba. Comb. English. Comb. Have you brought a comb with you? Scotland. I can't find my comb. I left it. I was sure it was in my pocket. I fought the law, and the law won. They always do. Don't try this at home. So, English, you pronounce it law. Law. But a lot of people, even professionals, will say law. I'm going to get the law onto you, and they put an R in there. Similar to like cinema. And we go into the cinema, and there's an R coming in, which doesn't need to be there. So it's law in English, not law. Giving it kind of two syllables, almost like a diphthong. Law. It's the law. In American, it's the law. The law. I think we're looking at the law as against law. The law.